Let's talk about this guy, Larry Madowo.
It's because nobody was expecting it,
Because
including
as
me.
Kenyans, we expect that if you are gay, you are somewhat
For me,
dysfunctional.
I don't have a problem with Anderson Cooper. Why am I having a problem with Larry Madowo?
Hi guys, welcome back to the Mod Afro Mamas. Hot topic of the month. Okay, holiday season hot topic. Let's talk about this guy, Larry Madowo. Okay, our Kenyan-born person. For those of you who don't know, news anchor, wonderful career in Kenya. Got a chance to correspond with BBC. Now in New York. Okay, and finally came out as gay. Let's go, Sarah. Why is this such a hot topic for our Kenyan people?
I guess it's because his work ethic, first of all right? He was very good at what he did. You know, I would watch him even from here, okay? I'm not saying that gay people don't have good work ethic.
That's the question mark I just put on my pad.
That's right. Okay. But, you know, he had a good job, all right? His career was great. And so for me, I was actually thinking that he's dating somebody, all right? And then he comes and he tweets this thing. And I'm like...
I mean, dude was dating somebody. He just wasn't dating who you thought he was dating. Let's start right there. Number two, work ethic. And I know you didn't mean in terms of can he not do his work, but my question is, what does my smarts in terms of a person and my talents have to do with who I sleep with? If I sleep with a person, a cow, a goat, a sheep, will that diminish my talents? Like, why?
No. And as long as you're not bringing it to work. No, I'm just saying, you know, the reason why it was a shock is because nobody was expecting it.
Because as Kenyans, we expect that if you are gay, you are somewhat dysfunctional. And therefore, you either have crazy looking hair, you have piercings all over and tattoos, you're hanging out, drinking and drugging. You can't just be a gay woman that looks like me.
But then I asked this because for me, I don't have a problem with Anderson Cooper. Why am I having a problem with this dude, with Larry Madowo?
Because that's what we're taught, is it not? Because we're taught, you look at people from a distance, right? One, first of all, I'm sorry, this is totally a race thing. And whether or not we realize it, we still carry racism within us. And not racism as in we pick and choose. And Wazungus are always over there for us, right? You don't see them that often. And when you see them, they're tourists or they're rich or they work in the UN or wherever. And so when you see them act certain types of ways, it's like, for example, let me tell you, I dabbled, my dad would laugh at this though, but I dabbled in the swim team when I was going to college in KU. And I remember we went to Mombasa and we went to the beach. And one of the girls I was with wore a bikini. And I distinctly remember the local lady alikuwa anachoma hapo cassava saying to her, mbona umevaa hivyo? Mbona umevaa kama malaya? But I didn't understand. There were at least 10 tourists standing next to us in smaller, tighter, tinier bikinis. She just happened to have a two-piece. What do you call that? That's neocolonialism, right? They can
right.
So it's the same thing. We can tune into Anderson Cooper. We can watch him. We can mourn with him when he loses a parent. But oh, God forbid a Kenyan man decides to sleep with another man.
First of all, you're going to lose your job, okay?
True.
You're going to lose your job. Number two, you can never walk on the street because you'll be harassed.
So give that man props for being smart enough to get his BBC contract signed before he came out.
My concern is though, what about those people who are at home cannot get a job outside Nairobi, okay? Or cannot get a job outside whatever county you live in. So you live in that kind of an environment. You cannot come out because you know the consequences. Talk about Uganda.
Yeah, Uganda, where it's I forget what time it was that the president had given an order in the newspaper to shoot anybody.
Yes.
Okay? I mean, since when do we play God with people's lives? I'm Christian and I'm okay with whatever religion you're in, whatever you believe. But I think the basis of anything, the basis of any religion, at least that's what they write in the books, is that you love, right? And that you help.
Love.
And you help others. So if love is the ultimate, who am I to judge who you choose to love? My job is to love you because that's what I will answer to God for. And the rest is up. That's between you and your maker. That's what I believe. So at the end of the day, I may not like the notion of people being gay. I may not stand for it based on my principles, right? My job is not to say, Sarah, oh, you can't be gay, therefore I cannot love. My job is just to say, Sarah, I don't approve of this, but I will love you through it. The end. That's it. That is real Christianism, according to me. But I mean,
it's true.
Who
No,
am
it's
I?
true. But I'm telling you, you do not understand how this has changed.
Right.
Okay? You know, somebody like him, I'm sure he has lost so many friends.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody wants to be associated with somebody like him. You
He's
know what
got
I
family
mean?
back home. Okay. And then again, let's talk about this is a man in diaspora who might never be able to go back home. That's it for him. He has literally had to leave Kenya behind. Where is he gonna go? Where is he gonna go? Okay. And if he's gonna go to Kenya, he's gonna have to have armed protection. Because especially being that he's famous, there's always going to be somebody trying to mess with him. But how about the male versus female factor, right? If a female comes out as gay, we laugh. It's not that serious. You know, when two girls are making out, everybody's happy. Look at Instagram now, right? It used to be an American thing. I see it on Kenyan sites, right? The girls are sitting and they're playing and it's okay. But when a guy does it, we're disgusted. Like, either let's choose the lanes and stick to them.
Right?
These are my morals, or don't, or don't.
And I don't know why. I think it's because, you know, and I'm talking about as a parent, and you have your son, and then they become out as gay. I guess you realize, oh my gosh, chances of me having grandchildren are gone.
I hear you. And I have a coworker like that, right? He actually happens to be Jamaican. But I remember him saying, he said he happens to have a boy and a girl, and both are gay. And I remember him saying, like, he's just like, you know, I guess I'll never have grandkids. That was the most painful part for him. But can we discuss that it's 2020 and if we can come up with a vaccine for COVID in 6 to 7 months, then people are having kids. Okay, isn't there a man who gave birth because he was a woman and we kept his womb and still changed his parts? And
that I have a problem with. That I have a problem with. No, we are gonna twist things. When God created people, a man, He said, "I'm gonna create a woman." You know, as partnership. All right.
I have a problem with playing God.
Huh?
I do have a problem with playing God when people try to take on God's role. You are turning something that God created and you're trying to scientifically make this body do something different. That's what I mean by playing God.
Okay.
So I have a problem with that.
Yes.
But I mean, in today's technology, people have kids. There's women who are barren and have children. Two gay men can have a kid. I mean, two gay women can have a kid. A transgender person can have a kid. So is that really a concern? Or are we, I mean, does technology work for us, period, or only when we want it to work for us? Because Kenyans are very educated people, okay? When people are sick, they find us to fly people out to India for this, we stay in Kenya for this, we do. So it's not that we lack the knowledge, it's just we pick and choose. We are choosing what to listen to and what to block out and decide.
Right. Yes.
How fair is
and
that?
it comes, right. And I think it comes down to, you know, how we grew up seeing, you know, and what we were taught. Most of, you know, people back home, most of them are Christians. About 70% of them are Christians. So we went to church and were instilled this, you know, beliefs.
Yeah.
That you cannot do A, B, C, and D. And if you do A, B, C, and D, there's a consequences for that, right? But I feel like we need to create a conducive environment, a loving environment for everybody to feel loved. Just because, like you always say, we only have one life to live. Yeah. And if you're not happy in whatever situation you're in.
I think my problem, though, is now we come into the place where if you've ever sat in a church, you've heard about the lukewarm Christian, right? So now you start to wonder, because these things, no matter how intelligent you are, they still haunt you and you're still scared because you've had different interpretations over the years from different preachers about verses in the Bible. So am I a lukewarm Christian for accepting a friend who is gay, as long as, like I said, we say I love you, you know, I may not agree with you, but I love you and I continue to be your friend. Am I then being a lukewarm Christian?
How is that being lukewarm? I don't
understand. You're either on God's side or you're not. This is what I was taught. You're never on the side.
But like you just said that the greatest commandment is love, is loving one another. Yeah. Love your neighbors as you love yourself. So then, you know, that's not being lukewarm, that is following the teachings of Jesus Christ.
Go ahead, Mrs. Masika. Yes, okay. On
so
that,
that's not being lukewarm.
So what happens to our people who are sitting in Kenya right now who have these thoughts and tendencies? And I don't claim to know. Some people say you're born gay. Some people say, whatever the case. What do we say to these people who are sitting at home, living a life? Because my biggest fear is the family that is born of somebody who is not being themselves, right? So I perceive I'm gay. It's what I feel. But because I live in this society and I'm not going anywhere, I'm not going to be a diaspora. I marry a man and we have a family. Yes. But this is not where my desire is. So what about this poor man that I'm stringing along for life? These children that I'm stringing along for life? me who is sitting there and
And,
suffering everything.
and you're doing that, because of the pressures, when you get to a certain age. And I feel like that's the same thing happened to him. I mean, he's been told, you have a career, okay? What is it? Why we don't have grandchildren? Wow. Give us grandchildren, you have a good job, you have good job security, you are now a celeb. Why are you not, where is the girlfriend? I guess all that pressure put him, he realized, you know what, I gotta go. I can't be here. People have gone ahead and married, gone ahead and had children, and then look at Jenna. What's the Kardashians?
Girl, see now that one, it's so funny you said that because I was just watching on Netflix when what's his name? The talk show, was it Letterman? And he does the interview with them, he'll do the interview with her. And she walked into the garage one day and saw Caitlyn Jenner, saw him completely dressed in women's clothing. Her mom was away on a trip. And I keep thinking, right? The father, if you walked into your house unannounced and he was dressed as a woman completely, I think I would rather catch him with a woman. I don't know. I'm not sure how I would react to him in stocking, lipstick. What kind of conversation do we have? Look at him. He went all the way. Because at first I thought that, right? When I was watching the shows, like, the into fame and all this. But he went all the way. He left his 20-year marriage, his children, and he started afresh as a woman. This is a guy who's famous. He's like one of the most famous athletes. And listen, that's where he's at. So do we really understand what these people go through?
No, but that's a problem though, because now even the children had a difficult time acknowledging, seeing. Can you imagine your dad all of a sudden now that's difficult.
My dad wants to be called Susan, and and we're smiling together and sharing lipstick. No, I don't know. No. The other way, my mom decided tomorrow now she wants to be called a guy, and we're walking.
That's trauma. That is trauma for the kids.
And he has grandkids.
Yeah, I know.
But then it makes me wonder, right? As much as we are taught, because fortunately or unfortunately, you come into this world and you follow the path you've been taught. So that's why as you go around and you meet different people and beliefs, you realize there's so many other things to the world, even to just religion or spiritualism, right?
Yes.
So how much was this person feeling that they were willing to leave everything behind? And
so much. Like they were about. That's why you find people, committing suicide.
Yeah.
Okay. Because they've lived, they're not happy with themselves, and you start questioning. Oh my gosh, she had a good job. Yeah. All right. Wow. Yeah. Because for us, as long as you have a good job, you're good.
Yeah. True.
Nobody cares about anything else as long as you have a good job. But what I was telling you is that, if I was home, if I was in Kenya, I probably would be having a difficult time accepting this dude.
Yeah. It's also because there's what you've seen being here. Because I've been here and I've worked with and for gay people, and listen, there's that a perception in your head that, oh my God. Then you realize they're normal, they crack the same jokes you crack, we go through the same relationship problem. They're kawa people. So it opens up your mind to seeing the person and not their sexual preference.
Right.
Whereas in Kenya, who was going to tell you outwardly they were gay? Nobody. So for our viewers, especially our people at home, back home, still caught up in this, still tied up, that might be facing a Larry kind of situation, si kila mtu ako na chance ya kuenda abroad or kuenda to another country and start their lives over, and they're feeling tired, they're feeling like they can't breathe. I mean, what kind of encouragement would you give them?
You gotta have to gauge the situation, because sometimes you want to come out and then it's gonna break everybody. At the same time, we always advocate for self-care, for self-love, and this is part of it. All right. And I wouldn't want anybody to be living this kind of life that they're not happy with themselves. They don't have an environment that is loving. And for people who have such kind of a situation, either you have a sibling or somebody, a relative, love them.
And like we say, I mean, when God made you, he made no mistakes. If this is what you identify with, I mean, I'm not advocating for, I'm not advocating against. I'm just saying you get this one go around, okay? You have to live Jesus did not die, for those of you who believe, he did not die for you to live a miserable life. He died for you to be happy. Right. He died for you to enjoy and live a full life. You do what works for you, be uniquely. You enjoy being yourself and pray above all else, because God's got you. As always, okay? Don't forget to subscribe and share, and we'll see you next time on the More That from Mama.
Yeah. Bye.